Mr. Speaker, members of the House, I rise in support of 3115, the land exchange between PolyMet Mining and the Superior National Forest, U.S. Forest Service. Let me begin by saying that what the exchange involves is PolyMet is giving up approximately 6,550 acres of forest land that is surrounded by old mining sites with no public access. And in return, they are giving us 6,690 acres, or an additional 40 acres, that are a wonderfully good deal for the taxpayers and the concerns of the environment, of people who will just look at the exchange. Because at the end of the day, the taxpayers get more land, taxpayers get more value, $425,000 to be exact. There's no cost to the taxpayers. The public gets more access to the land. They get more lakeshore property, more timberland, more wild rice land, and more wetlands. And if approved, and if the PolyMet mining project should ultimately go forward, by the way, it's received the highest marks that any mining project has ever received from the EPA after almost 12 years of review. The simple truth is here that this is a good bill for the public. And let me say, and it's important to note, there's some things that this bill does not do. And I need to say that because there's some terrible misinformation floating around out there. Number one, it does not authorize a mining project. Okay, let's make that very clear. Number two, it does not interfere with the state and the federal environmental review processes, procedures, and permitting process. Most importantly, the preponderance of the information coming into my office is concerned for the Boundary Waters Wilderness Canoe Area, and rightfully so. I was an original sponsor of that legislation back in the day before I took my little 32-year hiatus. There is no more precious, pristine area in this country, perhaps the world, that needs to be protected. But let me show you something here. For those of you who weren't paying attention in science class, there's a continental divide, which water north of that flows north, and water to the south of that flows south. This project is south of the continental divide, so there's physically no way possible, short of a nuclear bomb or getting hit by a planet or something, that water can flow into in any way harm or damage the boundary waters. And to be specific, right here, there already is a 60-year-old mining project, North Shore Mining. They've been mining there for 60 years. And by the way, there's sulfur in that soil as well. It has never been caused any damage to the Boundary Waters Wilderness Canoe Area. This is a good bill for the environment. It's good for jobs. It's good for the community. In no way can it in any way harm or damage the boundary waters, or I wouldn't be standing here today advocating for its purchase. I thank you. I urge my colleagues to adopt this important piece of legislation. And I remind you, it has good support from Minnesota, our senators, our governors, bipartisan support from our congressional delegation, chambers of commerce, the trade unions. It's a good bill, and I urge its adoption. And I reserve the balance of any time I might have left. Thank you very much.
Thank you.